Hello everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day. So this is kind of my mess in progress. I am trying to put together a dry gouache palette because I usually only use gouache to go on top of watercolors, and I wanted this as like a handy kind of thing. Now I have some of the Beam gouache, and I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. Well, easier said than done. um, so we'll swatch these out later, and you can see I put all the colors, lined them all up in order that I wanted to, switched a couple around. I'm starting to write down all the names. I'm using sticky tack to get them on the bottom. That's this. And that tends to hold the pans really good because this is kind of a wiggly palette. So I'm gonna go back, finish writing all the names, put them all in the palette, and I will kind of give you a close-up of what's happening to the pans now. I've been working on this for about a week. I'm sorry, you can probably hear the doggy in the background. And a lot of people have been having a problem with mold and stuff, so I didn't want to use like a wet palette type system because it might sit there for a couple of weeks and then I'll be battling mold. There's two channels that you could probably take a look at. I know Miranda Watson, Alley Creek Art has been battling mold continuously, and then Sarah Burns Studio, she shows you how to like clean your palette and what to put in it to possibly have less of a mold problem. But I didn't want to battle that, and actually let me go ahead and show you when I do a whole, of course my drawer is stuck, and this is why I don't tend to if you could see what I'm doing right now. This is why I tend not to want to grab it just for a little touch-up. So I have all my gouache lined up in this container, and I've painted the tops of the containers so it'd be easier to grab when I just need one or two colors. And it's great and all, but to get it out of the drawer and yank it up just to find one color, I thought this might be my solution to do a dry palette because theirs look so pretty. Now I did take them out of their little wraps and kind of squish them into pans so that I could have a little bit of a cleaner situation. So yeah, this is my process. I'm gonna go ahead, get these in here, and we'll see what we got. Trying to squish them all down. Now some of them are damp. I forgot to show you that I did put additives in them so that maybe they wouldn't crack so much, and I heard that a slow dry will make them crack less. So let me show you what I used. I used half a drop of glycerin, and then I also used half a drop of this Winsor & Newton blending medium that slows down the drying process. So I figure if I slowed down the drying process, that maybe I could get better looking pans and they wouldn't completely crumble, and this would kind of bond them together a little better. And I only put a teeny tiny bit and then stirred it in each pan as I was making it. So it's kind of a total experiment. Now some of them are still a little damp, so when I push these in, they still have a little tack to them. They are cracking a little bit. So let's continue. So there we have it. They're all in their spots. And you can see a couple are cracking. It seems like the browns and yeah, pretty much the browns and a couple of the purples are the most likely to crack. A couple of them still haven't dried down. It seems like I'm having best results with M. Graham to dry down, and Holbein's drying down pretty well. I don't know if it was a mistake or a good thing that I put in these couple of things. We're going to find out. As I let these dry over the next couple of weeks and I top them off, I'll come back and update you on these. But let's go forward and have a little bit of fun and swatch these up. All right, I have it all laid out, the Beam paints. Boy, they look so much prettier than mine. We'll spray them down, get them a little juicy. Oops. Now, I don't have the names on these. They don't print anything on their packaging, and I kind of took them out of their packaging and squished them in here. They get creamier as the water sits on them. There are a couple other companies that also make pre-made pans of gouache. This way you get to see how they're painted out a little bit though, and how opaque they are. They are very flat. And this little tin is going to go in my travel spot. I think I have a little too much water on that one. You can hear a big truck out there. I don't know what they're doing. This one, a tiny bit too much water as well. Soak a little of that up. It's the only thing about panned gouache. You have to get them creamy, but then they could have too much water to them. Uh-oh. Doggies are going crazy over the truck. The little wrappers that the Beam paints come in, they're very cute, and I know they're earth friendly and all, but I made a mess out of those real fast, and they'd start to unwrap, and I couldn't put them in any type of tin. So, didn't really work for me. I do love this color. I think this is called like their smoke blue or something like that. They do have names of all of them. I only think I have maybe 2 of their watercolors, so not too many. I know a lot of people really like their watercolors. I put tape out and I can't even stain the bounds of the tape there. I am just a mess today. I think I get frustrated, you know, when you're kind of working on something and you've been working on it for like a week and a half and you're not sure if it's turning out or not, like the big gouache palette. The container that I showed you that I had all my gouache tubes in, that's just one of those refrigerator containers that you organize your fridge with, that I got at like a home goods type place on special for a couple of dollars, and it just was the perfect size. I know they have cosmetic organizers as well that are similar. The brush I'm using is a Craftimo brush. I saw Sarah Burns came out with a selection of gouache brushes. They look really nice. They were sold out when I had looked a while back. I don't know if they got back in stock or not. I know a lot of people have been raving about them, that they're very, very good. So on my big gouache palette, I have most brands in there, from Schminke to Holbein to De La Rowling to M. Graham and Winsor & Newton. So we will definitely have to see how each one dries down differently. I'll keep you updated. I'm using way too much water. I'm usually a watercolor person. Lots of water. Alright, we'll give it a few minutes. We'll tape peel and see what we got. Alright, these look a little dry now. Let's go ahead and do a little, get rid of the tape. See if I made some ugly swatches or some pretty ones. Beautiful. There's some nice colors there. Then I also did do this little palette when I was pouring my big one. I couldn't fit the couple extra colors in there, metallics. So you will have to let me know if you think, let's zoom out a little bit here. you think this was a big mess or a masterpiece, because I think it'll come in really handy when I just want to use a couple little colors on the top of watercolor and just have it off to the side rather than trying to dig out all the tubes. It's a great color selection. I have a ton, way too much. And we will have to see in the future. Go ahead and bop a button below if you want to see the updates and so forth on this Gouache Experiment palette. And we'll take another closer look. You can see how some of them are cracking, some are still gooey, but they are all usable. And I started writing, when I was putting them all away, I started writing all the pigment information. Obviously it needs a better swatch card, but I need to double check the order and everything before that happens. And then we have this and this awesome stuff that stuck everything together. And sorry about the glare. And thank you very much for sticking around during all my beeps and blunders today, because my talking was not smooth, and I apologize for that. But you know, when you're a little frustrated and you're kind of trying to work things out in your mind, everything kind of bops around a little differently. So thank you again for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.